speaking on like perfect lighting and application of good CGI to where it blends like seamlessly and it actually holds up over years. That goes into the same thing. Like one of my top favorite movies that does that, Space Jam. They made Michael Jordan's arms stretch. That looks real to this day. 1994 technology.
There was an asteroid that came pretty close to Earth. They say pretty close, but it was like 396 million miles away. But apparently that's pretty close in NASA standards.
That's really cool.
They did say, however, that the size of it could have caused a nuclear winter or mass extinction.
Jeez.
I'm just imagining like there's some guy staring at a monitor with like his finger on a button, like hovering over, ready to be like DEFCON 1, DEFCON 1.
Yeah.
What is DEFCON 1?
It's like
for all the chat.
It's like putting the government on high alert. Of being like, oh, there's a potential threat, like a nuclear threat could be.
Oh, okay.
Sending them to DEFCON 1. I don't remember
This is coffee,
when.
Mom. Just saying.
We went to, I think the furthest was like DEFCON 3, maybe.
During like the Cold War.
Yeah, during situations like that.
Dude, how do you guys know all this stuff? What the fuck? Like, did you guys just literally Google this not so long ago? Because holy shit, I feel so.
I mean,
ignorant.
we could have if we had preparation time.
Bro, Vincent wanted to. He was getting sad, bro. I was like, bro, we gotta stream right away.
No,
like,
I was.
His voice will go like squeaky, like mine.
Yeah.
outside of the podcast environment, he's actually Mickey Mouse. Oh boy! What are we talking about today, guys?
That wasn't.
Every time you go over to my house, she's like, "What's up, bro? How's it hanging?"
I like how you said "bo," but you know me. I would have said something completely different.
Oh, we can't use that word.
No.
I know what you're gonna say.
It's
bro, we don't have
dog,
anything planned.
We
What
don't.
the fuck?
No, but anyways, as I was saying, like, isn't that scary to think like, oh yeah, like a fucking asteroid came close to Earth that could have like caused a mass extinction?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit's scary.
Do you ever think that like would the government even let us know if one was like if there was a direct impact?
They'd probably let us know when we had like less than a day.
Yeah,
like they'd probably try a couple of things first, and then there'd be like an announcement. The president would be on television going like, "My Americans, today we are facing a grave danger. I've been informed by."
Okay, Nixon. I don't know why. I don't know. My fellow Americans.
My fellow Americans. I've been informed by the Cabinet of Space
that the Space Force.
There's a collision course between a
We're all
large
gonna
celestial
die.
body.
Oh my god.
And our beloved planet.
No, you don't sound like Nixon. You sound like Optimus Prime.
Autobots.
Oh shit.
My fellow Americans.
Oh my gosh. I will need you to pack up and roll out.
Oh, I have to look at that one, not this one.
Hey, what's up, Dinosaur?
Yo.
Is that Dennis?
Oh
Yeah.
wait. Let me do my Optimus voice. Hello, Dennis.
Oh, dude. Oh, that would
Ask him where the Allspark is.
Where is the Allspark?
Bro, how do I get my voice that deep, dude?
I don't know, man.
I keep asking my coworkers. They say, "Shut up." Like, what the fuck? Do I have to do an exercise to like string my vocal cords?
You just get some like hooks and expand them.
Oh my god.
Well, damn. I kind of want my high pitched voice now. Fuck
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I don't remember. Oh, well, in the topic of like TV heroes, I don't know why randomly a couple days ago something you said.
Oh shit! Am I in trouble?
I was like, okay, you had mentioned that if we wanted to watch something pretty good on Netflix, you recommended The Witcher.
Yeah.
And I watched it and I was like, holy shit, it's actually pretty cool.
It's pretty dope, right?
Yeah.
What was your
Still haven't
favorite?
seen it.
Yeah.
You still
Oh,
haven't seen it?
man.
Oh man, it's
You can't spoil it.
Yeah.
Have you played the game?
I've seen the game. I've never played it though.
Can we kick him out? Can we kick him out?
Have you played The Witcher?
Yeah, I got it
Okay.
on Switch. Hey.
I
So
left out. I'm the only one who doesn't have a Switch on the
real
table.
quick, someone convinced me to buy a Switch for the airplane
It
ride.
did not take much at all. It was literally Julio being in a store, like hovering over a switch and be like, "Should I?" And no one said anything. He's like, "Doing it."
No, I said something.
Yeah, he said
I was
you
like,
should.
fucking do it.
I'm like, I just walked out.
You know for damn sure he was already at the checkout counter. He's like, "Bet."
He knows you too well. But it was an influence inspired by you.
Hey,
hell yeah.
gracias.
Oh, by the way, this is racist as fuck, man. I just showed up. They put a random Mexican flag behind me. I didn't even know.
I will say this though, it can't really be racist because it was my idea and I'm Mexican, so.
Oh, okay. If it was a Panamanian over there,
Yeah, if it was him,
then that'd be kind of
yeah,
racist,
it'd be
bro.
different.
We'd be having problems. We'd be calling the mafia. Wait a minute. We don't know people.
cartel, bro.
The
That's
cartel,
yeah.
bada bing. Oh, that's the wrong one? Okay. Shit, man. I get my shit all mixed up all the time.
Yeah,
Hold on, I can't get too close.
you get the whole Peaky Blinders
The
vibe.
Peaky Blinders, bro. I do. I recommend that.
Oh, yo, Loop said toss a coin to your Witcher.
Oh, they
Yo,
know.
fuck
They know.
yes.
Oh, you don't know.
I
You
know,
can't.
I'm just like,
Hold up,
hey,
dude.
I was about to say it too. Don't know what that means.
We do need a soundboard
Toss
thing.
a coin to your Witcher. Wow, I actually really like that song.
Dude, if we get a subscriber, we'll be like.
I'm pretty sure it's copyrighted. It'll just be an audio capture of him doing
What if we
it.
just get someone to like play the harmonica, but like really badly,
Like a shitty flute.
yeah, like a shitty flute.
Oh, that'd be freaking amazing.
If anyone who doesn't know, a shitty flute's a recorder.
Yeah. God, but yeah, but yes, The Witcher is a
Oh, shit, we
great
got
series,
checked.
dude, and I definitely recommend you watch it. Also, Henry Cavill plays a pretty good Geralt of Rivia.
No, I didn't like him. Sorry, but I didn't like him.
What?
You know, like Henry
He,
Cavill.
he looks too majestic, bro. He looks like a fucking god. Geralt looks like a motherfucker that will. We can't cuss, right?
Yeah, just
Okay, like a.
Keep it moderate. Don't
Okay.
don't make.
He,
don't,
he looks like he'll tear a dragon's throat with his teeth.
but he
off.
wouldn't because he's a good guy.
But he looks like a.
But he looks like he'd be.
He looks like you would be afraid to look at him.
He
When
does-
I see the other guy, what's his name?
Henry Cavill.
The actor.
Yeah.
When I say I want to kiss him because he looks so fucking beautiful, bro.
Or
He looks so majestic, like a god.
I
He
guess
does not look like a Witcher. He looks
Captain
he looks like Superman.
Yeah.
Well, it's because he did play Superman. Don't tell me that that's the only reason you see him that
He
way.
looks too majestic, man. He doesn't look like Geralt. He has the body.
He does look a little too righteous and not rough around the edges.
Yeah, he
enough.
looks like a majestic, like
a majestic.
like a royalty, like a.
Mamma mia.
I don't know what I'm fucking
I don't know.
saying.
You're
It's
stuck on the
shrooms,
mafia
dude.
thing. Stop. We're not on shrooms.
Oh gosh. But anyways, yes. To everyone who's watched The Witcher out there, awesome, because that shit is amazing. You need to get on it. I don't know when season 2 is coming out.
Dude, I hope it's
but
soon.
I hope it's soon as well. But yeah, and I haven't played the game, so
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be shit because of the game. The game was real good, real good.
I remember one of our friends. I don't want to say any names, but Oni. He was like, "Oh, this looks like shit. Oh, it's not gonna be true to the game." And I was like, "Okay." And then I watched it. and I was like, "I don't know. I liked it."
I loved it.
Yeah.
But insert funny transition here.
Yo,
What are
Julio
we
looking cute.
Bro, can you do this?
Are you flexing your pecs?
No, you
He
can't see it
is.
because of the
Well, no.
because of the shade.
Yeah,
Well,
you
it's
can't
okay.
really.
The point is,
I would love to see you go up to like the main camera and do that because that was
no, bro,
impressive.
because I'm nipping.
Julio
I always nip for some reason.
looking thick, apparently.
Is that Dennis?
Yeah.
He knows what's up. Hell yeah, bro.
And then
Well,
Captain
I'll call you.
Dewey was calling you cute.
Ooh.
Whoa, man, you're getting mad game.
Oh, I know who
tonight.
Who is Captain?
Captain Dewey.
Captain. Oh wait, we can't reveal people.
Probably not a good idea.
Bro, way to make it awkward, Vincent. What the?
What did
heck,
I do?
man?
What
Why you asking for their names, bro? That's weird, dude.
I don't recognize that name,
Me
but
neither.
could be someone we know.
We
Might be
find
someone else.
we find out it's your roommate. What's his name? He'll throw something at me. But yeah, politics.
It's about politics.
Coronavirus. We talked about. Is that not
Yeah,
politics?
no, that's not politics.
Okay, so that's been a serious topic though lately, right? The doctor recently died. The guy that exposed.
Oh
essentially.
yeah, that was interesting. I did find that pretty cool because it's like he tried to warn everybody,
He
and then he
tried.
got fucking arrested for it.
Yeah.
I
And
was just
now-
like, man.
For what? Trying to like instate like mass hysteria or
Yeah,
something?
yeah, because he was like texting like his friends and his loved ones, like saying, "Yo, this shit is real," and then they arrested him for it, and then yeah, he ends up in the hospital too. And I
Just gets labeled as a terrorist.
yeah, and then the whole shit breaks out, and they're like, "Oh,
Like, so it's actually real. But he recently passed away. Rest in peace, guy. Thanks for, you know,
trying to save the world."
trying to save China.
Yeah. Well, I don't.
Was he a Chinese doctor?
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah, he was in.
Yeah, he was.
I don't know. Maybe
Chinese.
Chat knows more.
That makes sense why he would be arrested by the government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
I was like, if that was the U.S., that'd be kind of a weird pretense to arrest someone.
Which,
Yeah, no.
What is China like?
It's
Communist, isn't it?
it's labeled as the the People's Republic, China.
Of China, but it's like a.
It's a totalitarian government. Like the
Yeah.
government has most control over what happens.
Right. They did recently rename the coronavirus though. They named it something else.
Bud Light virus. Is that another thing?
No, I think
I think you told me about that.
it was like the D I don't know, DSG 19 or something like
Well,
that.
no, that's just his designation number.
Yeah, but that's what they labeled it as. So that people could stop calling it coronavirus.
Oh, it's like with swine flu. Like that's the
oh, the
H1N1.
H1Z1. Oh, C1 is the game.
Yeah. H1N1. That's like its designation.
Right, yeah.
So still called the coronavirus.
I mean, you could still call it it because
I
that's
like
what
that.
it is. Like it's only called the coronavirus because it's
Looks
shaped like a crown.
Like a crown.
And
Yeah, bro.
There are
Piggybacking off
there are
that.
several types of coronaviruses, and it's just people are like, oh, that's what we're gonna call it.
Yeah, we need a Modelo.
That's the only one we know about.
Modelo time.
Mm-hmm.
I
But
don't
yeah,
know.
speaking of that stuff, we didn't stream last week, right? That was
Right.
Yeah, you explain how you were away for business, and then we had the opportunity to pick up on that and start streaming this past week because you weren't here last Sunday, and we didn't start a stream because we weren't prepared and we were feeling a little under the weather. But then we had the opportunity to try and stream on Thursday to make up for it.
yeah.
And unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it because I had gotten some news that there was a death in someone immediately close to me. And so Thursday night, I had to leave for the weekend, and I just got back today. I had a funeral to attend to this morning, and yeah, that's just segueing into like I know it's a little bit darker of a subject, but like just to be broad, death, right?
Yeah.
It's something that we all have to deal with at some point or another, whether it's preparing our loved ones for our eventual leave from this planet, or we have to be prepared for whenever someone else leaves their lives.
Yeah.
And it's a scary subject. People don't like talking about it because you don't like talking about things that you're uncertain about.
The harsh truth that, it's out of our control. It just happens. Could
Yeah.
be like this.
Yeah, and it's tough because it's one thing to know how you're going to take it, but death affects everyone who is associated with it. Like you can be strong and strong-willed and handle it on your own, but then when you have to be there for others, it's tough because then you have to see them suffer, and then in turn you start hurting because they're hurting, and it just becomes a big mess, really.
So I have a question then. Like, how was that? Like, I don't know how to make this sound like touchy, but what was your experience during that, dude? That shit's fucking brutal because it happens like this, right?
Yeah,
what was your take after?
It was very sudden because the person that died had health concerns. They suffer from a heart condition, and so it was aware that at some point or another it might be the leading cause of their eventual death. And unfortunately, it was just very sudden. Had a heart attack and died in their home. And then I was called, and I had to be emotional support for my family members who were there at the time. And my first initial reaction was, I need to be there for them. I need to, just be there to comfort them. And I was kind of more on the distant side. I didn't want to let myself get over emotional because it doesn't help when two people are blubbering over a situation.
Yeah.
Like all you're doing is just feeling them when you should really be trying to calm them down from that.
Comfort them, support them.
Yeah,
and
because
just-
the more sorrow you feel, the more manic you start to feel, and then that's when the panic starts setting in. And one thing that was something to be afraid of was just the fear of not being able to control anything that was about to happen. Because whenever a sudden death happens, you don't know who to call. You don't know if you need to, call a funeral home, or if there was a will and life insurance, and all that just becomes like in your mind. You're like, I don't know what to do. Your mind starts to shut down. Thankfully, though, there was a lot of people there who already knew how to handle the situation, and were like, we'll take care of it. Don't worry, we're all in this together. And they started making phone calls, got the arrangements done, and we were in and out by the end of the weekend. It didn't hit me hard until the actual funeral service itself, because I wasn't very, very close personally to one party that was the deceased. But then they called me down to assist with bringing the body in the casket to the burial site, and then lowering the body into the grave. And that's when it got real. That's when I was like, jeez, this is someone that I knew. This is someone who was, a part of my life. Even if it wasn't a big part of my life, it was still significant.
Yeah.
And I had a small breakdown at that point. But I didn't let it distract me from the fact that, life moves on. You need your loved ones, when they leave you, they don't want you to stop.
Yeah.
They want you to keep going, and sure, they want you to remember them, but they don't want you to dwell on just that, like the idea of the death and then nothing else. They want you to persevere, they want you to move on with your life, and they want you to be happy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so death, sudden. One moment they're good, then something happens. Could be a situation, could be a random event, and they're gone. So that's why I'm glad we're doing this, the podcast, right? This is still a project, but like I tell you guys, when I'm flying here and there for project to project, my plane can fly. I mean, my plane
could fly. Hopefully it flies.
my plane could fall, and then that's it, right? It's not within our control. I mean, that's a different conversation, whether control or not, right? But sorry for your loss, bro. We're here for you. Chat's here for you. Dennis, my boy, is here for you. But I'm glad you're okay. Psychologically, mentally, emotionally, physically, you look good, bro. Look at that.
I'm still wearing all black from this morning.
Look at that tie though. Look, it's silky, bro. Like if
like something that I talked about, because of how sudden it was and how frantic everything went. I called my dad on my way home from where I was, and I was like, hey, because he wasn't there. I was like, hey, this thing happened. He was like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. And I was like, yeah, it sucks. And I was wondering, do you have any kind of plan for if you were to accidentally kick the bucket, and or are we just supposed to wing it? And he's like, oh, no. I already, the woman that he lives with, he was like, oh yeah, no, she knows the entire drill. She knows where all the paperwork is, who to call, and all that. I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, I just want to be cremated. No fanfare, no paying the extra money to get a grave marker and all that. And he's a very simple guy. He's just like, no, don't. That's unnecessary pay. Just cremate me, put me in a jar, keep me wherever you want, throw me away. Don't matter. I'm dead.
that sounds like your dad. That sounds exactly like your dad.
And I was like, so no ceremony, no memorial. It's like, no. Why would I do that? It's like, why do I care what you guys do? I'm dead. I got no choice in that.
Oh my god.
He's like, you guys can handle the grief on your own, because I'm not there to support it. He's like, I won't be there to pat you on the back or tell you it's okay. So you guys will unfortunately need to handle it on your own. If you want to have anything to remember me by, just do something simple. Just call each other, send out some cards, keep in contact with each other. That's it. You don't have to have any kind of big ceremony just to remember me. You're gonna remember me.
Yeah.
So it's just like on his end, like that right there. To some people is like, oh, he's just a guy who doesn't really care too much about what happens to himself or anything like that. But one thing that if you really dissect those words specifically, he has always been this way, by the way, is a kind of guy who will downplay anything that will be traumatic or anything that will be something scary to you in order to make you feel better about it down the road. By him saying like, oh, I'm gonna be fucking dead, like I don't care, like you're gonna have to deal with it on your own. Like he's being a tough ass, but at the same time, then that puts in your mind like, oh, then I shouldn't care. Like not shouldn't care, but like, oh, I should be a little more callous to it then. If he doesn't care, then that makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, it's the military and the minority mindset is what I call it.
Like that specific type of parenting that he's done for me, it's all my life. One time I had accidentally slit my finger while cutting fruit, and I got myself deep, and I was about to freak out because it was like slice, and I'm like, and then I noticed like I was like down. I got so deep into my finger, and I all I saw was pink flesh, and then immediately started seeing some blood trickle, and I pinched my finger closed. I'm like, I started panicking. I'm like 12 at the time, and I go outside my dad who's mowing the lawn. He's sweating. He's tired. He hates it doing that. And I'm like, Dad. He's like, what? What's wrong? I'm like, I cut my finger, and I'm about to panic. So what do I do? And he looks at me, looks at my finger. He's like, go put a Band-Aid on it or something. Why are you out here bothering me? It's like, just go put some peroxide on it, put a Band-Aid on it, and stop crying.
Dumbass.
I go inside. I'm like, put a Band-Aid on it. I'm all pissed off, and then I come back out later. He's like, did you put a Band-Aid on it? I was like, yeah. He's like, was it bad? I'm like, no, it was just, it's scary because it was deep. He's like, good. See how I pissed you off? You weren't scared anymore, were you?
Yeah.
It doesn't settle in until later, but the things he says, and that's a good thing to do. It's like the things that you leave behind, the way that you tell people things, puts a lot into your mindset down the line. Like how you're going to take things and how you're going to handle things.
Definitely mental conditioning, right?
Yeah.
But damn, I mean, hey, good thing you have him on your side. He's very logical.
Oh yeah,
he's a veteran, right?
Very grounded. Yeah, he's a veteran. He was in the Army.
Damn.
He was a staff sergeant.
Shit. Dennis, shout out to you. But
one thing that I always wondered is like, because us in our age, we don't really plan for shit like that. We don't have a plan for if something were to happen to us. So my question is like, when do you start planning? Like, is it like when you're like 50 or 40?
Like I've had ideas, honestly. Like even though I'm this young and I don't have my own family below me, like I don't have my own kids, I don't have grandkids or anything like that. I'm still considering things I would want to do. And one idea that I had, some people think it's morbid, some people think it's like, oh, that's kind of sweet, is I don't know if I'll die young. I don't know if I'll die old. But one thing that I want to do to leave behind for my kids, so that way they remember me, and my grandkids, so they remember me, is at some point whenever I think about starting a family, is I want to leave video recordings behind, something that can be played at any specific like big event. So, for example, I have a child. Whatever age they're at, I want to be able to record a video for every birthday. Be like, hey, happy first birthday, like well, no, maybe not first, but like once they start getting cognizant enough,
happy 2 minutes,
no, like
3 minutes,
like that kind of stuff, yeah, but once they're like 10, 15, 16 years old, and then I'll be like hey, happy 16th birthday. I hope your mom didn't decide to splurge for a 16 because I told her a long time ago we're not doing that, but I'm dead. What is she gonna listen to, And then like 18 years old, it's like, hey, happy 18th birthday. You better not have had a boyfriend up until now, kind of deal. Yeah, and then like stuff like weddings, for example. It's like, sorry, I can't be there to give you away, but I am, the best for you, and I hope you chose a good man. And then to the husband, like, take care of my daughter, and she means the world to me. And then grandkids, whatever the contingency plan is, I want to be able to record like certain like videos like that for certain things. Like Happy Easter, Happy Thanksgiving, all that. So that way, like the kids don't end up growing up being like, what was grandpa like, or what was dad like?
Yeah.
So that way they can actually see.
And this is a good platform to do that.
That's damn. I just wanted to get shot into space.
Like, shit, Elon Musk, bro, is happening.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I were to fucking die, just out of nowhere, I'd be like, dude, just cremate me, just fucking send me out to space.
That sound effect, bro. Like,
it's like a bottle rocket.
Exactly. Just put me in a Coke can, Mentos, and just fucking send me out.
I didn't mean to laugh directly into the microphone.
But yeah.
Sounds like when you're like trying to poop and it won't come out, but it finally comes out.
And it's the pressure just. Oh God. But no, that's actually a really cool idea. But I mean, I don't know. I want to say I'm inspired by it, but I doubt I'd be able to do that. If anything, what I'm best at is probably just writing letters. Yeah. So if anything,
all right, cool.
I'm not exactly too comfortable just setting up those scenarios, but instead I can always I'm much more better at imagining and then writing it down, as opposed to, you know, being in front of a camera and creating these like videos. I guess in a sense I'm like leaving death notes that are supposed to be full of life, at least for their imagination, because it's to me, being in front of a camera is how I want them to perceive me, but it's not my choice. I'll leave it to them and their, you know, mindset, because you might never know. Maybe I end up biting the dust, and maybe one day they get upset and blame me for not being there. They could always just read a note and be like, well, you know, I have a feeling that he really did try. He wanted to be here, but, you know, unfortunately, life happens.
Yeah, life happens, man. I mean, I just want my legacy to live on. So if I don't have a child or whatever, worst case scenario, my work ethic, carry on, set such a big foundation for my family and friends that, hey, remember Julio? Yeah, it's like, this is the car, like, you know, that he left off because he died or whatever the fuck. So, like, the legacy, carry on. I don't see it as a, like, very sad thing. Sounds fucked up. It's like simulation theory comes into mind, and then meditation, different dimensions kind of thing.
You're living with the mentality that you're going to die and then wake up in a pod.
I mean, yeah. I mean, worst case scenario, we're dead and we don't feel it. But our family feels it, right? Yeah. Emotional. But we leave this physical world, at least leave them with some luxury or some, you know, something to take care of them. But that was kind of depressing, bro. Fuck you. I'm just kidding. But I mean, it does happen suddenly. Yeah. Can't predict it. I wish it's simulation theory, because this is a beautiful virtual reality. Whoever created it, it's like the Matrix. We can feel anything. I can feel him right now.
No touches.
It feels real good. I feel like the texture, but if it's not, then rip. I don't know, man. It's out of my control at that point, right?
Earlier, Dennis asked, what do we think about the time-lapse videos of people with their children?
Making a time-lapse?
No, like, what do you think about, like, those videos that you see where people, like, have time-lapse videos of them and their kids, like, you know, starting off at infancy and then growing older?
That's a thing? Can we look at one right now on stream?
We'd have to set it up, though.
Oh, shit. Future notice.
Yeah, we'll have it running where we can be able to share videos.
That'd be cool, but that sounds hard to capture. Like, take a picture every day kind of thing?
Yeah.
Or like every other day or every...
Yeah, they make them, some of them like that, yeah. Some of them are like, take a picture every age, you know, until they get old enough to where you see the difference, and it's like...
Damn, that's crazy.
And then some people just do like videos of like, oh, baby's first steps, and then riding a bike, and then like, you know, they're going to preschool for the first day, and then they're graduating from high school, and then going to college. Like, some people do that way too, where it's a little more like skipped.
Yeah. Damn. That'd be beautiful. I don't even think I have baby pictures, bro. Like, that'd be cool.
Neither do I. I have like 3 baby pictures.
Yeah, and mine are like all torn.
Film was expensive, all right? Exactly. It was either that or baby formula.
That was a fucking luxury back then, bro. Like, but damn, that's cool. Yeah. Definitely gonna try one. Trying to see one. Yeah. The idea I had for videos though, I had that in the past, but then it was really cemented whenever I started watching like movies or like shows where they have like a play this video whenever I die kind of thing, and someone who's giving out like a verbal will, typically, or like it's not like that recent of a movie, but in the Avengers Endgame. Spoilers. If anyone's seen it, it's a year ago. Yeah. If you didn't see it, it's your fault.
Yeah, it's like it's been a year. There's no spoilers at this point. But in the end of Endgame, when Tony Stark dies, he has like a video. He has like a video recording that's left over for the family, and that's where he's like, you know what? You guys are watching this now because, unfortunately, I passed on.
Yeah, he predicted it. He thought the worst case scenario,
and he was like, I like to be prepared, and it's sad, but you got to move on. Like, it's really powerful hearing those words from the person who's gone.
Yeah, man. It's, the leader mentality at that point. Like, you're the leader of your family, you're the leader of your group, you're the leader of whatever, right? So you have to always think.
I guess Dennis hasn't seen it yet.
Dennis, we're sorry, bro. He's a USMC sergeant, by the way. Congrats.
Congratulations. That sounds
he's making moves, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, let me borrow your AR so we can shoot one time. I've never shot
whoa.
I never shot in the
Whoa.
ring before,
In the ring,
or not the ring,
Like a
the
boxing ring?
shooting ring.
that's shooting range.
Range, bro. I'm Mexican. You see this flag, bro? Like I don't know what I'm saying, dude.
I
But
love you 3000.
oh, dude, I'm gonna cry, dude. That was fucking touching, dude. I didn't like the movie though.
Unpopular opinion, but okay.
Yeah.
No, well, I did like the movie. But-
you're not much of a superhero.
Well, no, I love
But-
superheroes, but I guess when I was watching the movie, I looked at it in a marketing perspective and a video production perspective, which is it got dragged on too much. A lot of the other films and this film, and I guess I was wishful thinking. I wanted Captain Marvel to be more, present. She just came in, did some shit, and left.
Yeah,
So I was
mean,
brokenhearted about that, man. I was like, hey, man, you essentially like an infinite loop of this is gonna happen and this is gonna happen and again and again. And I was like, okay, I get it. I see the finale because you've hinted at it, which is a good video production, but the plot is being stretched to the point where it's just hollow. I don't know. It's my opinion. Don't get it mad at me.
So if we're talking about movies,
Yeah.
what would you say is your favorite movie?
Big Hero 6.
Big Hero 6?
Hell yeah. Well,
Big Hero
animated movie.
Well, movie.
Recently, favorite movie,
Oh.
Ford versus Ferrari or Ferrari versus Ford.
Like, for
Ford
example,
It'll make you cry, bro.
what I want is I want you guys to list off your top 5 and then also chat to list off their top 5. That would be dope.
Do you want to start or?
Okay, so my top 5 movies would be Jurassic Park,
1,
The Lion King,
2,
The Nightmare Before Christmas
3.
is a great one. And then if I were to rate it, the very first Iron Man, the one that started it all.
Yeah. That one was real good.
That one was
I like that one.
amazing. And recently, another hero movie that I really love is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, dude, that was an
it
amazing
was
movie. Oh.
beautifully done, and it was amazing.
Yeah, bro. I thought it was gonna be sucky because of the commercials, like 30 frames per second.
Oh,
and gave me
right,
like
right.
fucking anxiety. But when I saw it, I was so hooked, bro. It was so good, dude.
Yeah, and the soundtrack as well is just
You're a sunflower. That one. Copyright.
Yeah.
Does that sound exactly like Post Malone?
yeah, the Post Malone song, and then spoilers if you haven't seen Into the Spider-Verse, but when Miles Morales finally gets the courage, I guess,
Yeah.
to just let himself go and become the new Spider-Man, that song that played as he was swinging around the town, it was called What's Up Danger.
Mhm.
That one's awesome.
I see this guy smirking. What's your top 5? I
Yeah,
see you smirking.
so-
You're like,
so-
No, it was a green. That's a good scene.
yeah. So
I'm still thinking of my top 5.
Okay.
Shit, I don't even think I've seen that many movies
Really?
that I remember.
Dennis says Interstellar was his favorite.
Oh, bro, yeah.
I haven't seen that movie, but it definitely does look really interesting.
It's so good, dude. Okay, yeah. Big Hero 6, Interstellar, Ford versus Ferrari. Bro, thank you.
Yeah, two more.
Dude, Interstellar, dude. What else? Fuck. I'll pass it on for now.
That's what I figured Interstellar was. It was about time and space.
Dude, it's
'cause
trippy.
I
And
think
it's pretty accurate.
from what I've seen, it was like this one astronaut gets sent to, I don't know, it looked like a ring from Halo or something.
So, to give you a brief plot, so engineers and scientists, STEM people, are common in that era. So now they need more farmers. So we expanded so much in terms of industry that Earth is drying up. So if they don't migrate to a different solar system or a different planet, we all die. The whole human race dies. So they essentially time travel into different dimensions, and then some other shit happens. I can't spoil it, bro, because then it won't be a shock factor.
Right.
But they practice the law of relativity, where they travel from one planet to another. In Earth, that's like 10 years. For them, it's been like 20 minutes.
Right.
Or when they drop down to a different planet with greater gravitational pull, greater atmosphere, 5 seconds there is 5 years on Earth.
Oh, what the
So
hell?
it sends you into a fucking thrill, and it's a beautiful movie, man. It's a beautiful movie.
That's all right. That's awesome. That sounds like
gorgeous.
definitely something worth checking out. So Interstellar, I'll be checking that out. Magic Saki says, so in my entire life, I've never really had a favorite movie because I never really liked movies. But Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse had me hooked. And like the Lord of the Rings series, even if they don't consider it a favorite.
Oh, that's a good movie too.
Lord of the Rings?
The
series. Princess Bride. What is that?
Princess Bride.
Yeah.
That's an Anne Hathaway movie, I think, right?
Is it? I thought, I don't know. Oh, the Corpse Bride.
Corpse Bride, yeah.
I was thinking, is it that one?
Loops 942. Is Princess Bride an Anne Hathaway movie? I gotta know.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
That's Princess Bride.
Is it? I don't know what the
I think
fuck.
my fourth one is Twilight. Nah.
Oh, I was about to say.
I'm about to quit the podcast.
It is not an Anne Hathaway movie. Okay. My apologies. I've seen Princess Bride, but I've only seen it once in school.
Never.
And that was like 12 years ago.
Never.
If that movie was even out by then, I don't know.
I'd like to give my reasons for why my picks are there.
I'm sorry, Loops.
It's because, well, Jurassic Park, come on. The movie made in 1993. You watch it today, and you tell me that the dinosaurs, the graphics, like the visual effects of that movie, tell me they don't live up today.
Well, because they built animatronics. It's not CGI.
They did. But I mean, there was in the scene where I'm pretty sure everyone knows this. The scene where the Tyrannosaur breaks out of its paddock, where it rips through the electric fence, that was all CGI.
Mm-hmm.
The entire thing. And if you look at that scene in particular, keep in mind it was made almost 27 years ago. So the technology that was used in 1993 to make that's fucking impressive. It's amazing. And never have I felt like these things are real like before in my life. I see movies nowadays with their CGI and I'm like, oh yeah, I could tell that's pretty whack, or something looks fake. But in Jurassic Park, the lighting is perfect. The scenery of the trees and the rain, everything complements itself so well that makes me believe that I just saw a T-Rex break out.
Bro, I can't think of a fourth one, dude.
Well, speaking on like perfect lighting and application of good CGI to where it blends like seamlessly and it actually holds up over years. Mm-hmm. That goes into the same thing. Like one of my top favorite movies that does that, Space Jam. They made Michael Jordan's arms stretch. That looks real to this day. 1994 technology. No, one of my favorite movies is Space Jam.
Space Jam.
Yeah, and I grew up with it. When I was a kid, my entire bedroom was themed Space Jam.
Space Jam. Right?
I had a Space Jam like tent that was like the size of a toddler that could fit into. I had like pajamas. I had toys. Looney Tunes was my thing too, so I had a bunch of Bugs Bunny and Taz stuff too. So yeah, Space Jam was a big movie for me as a kid.
Holy shit!
Did you ever have the shoes?
Yes, I had the sandals.
You got the slides.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. One of my concept art professors worked on Jurassic Park, Star Trek, and Star Wars.
Oh, wow.
No way. What? Dude, pics.
That's
please.
Awesome.
Can we get his autograph? I don't know.
Right? Dude.
That's badass.
You would... I would love you.
Other than that, though, my favorite movies usually consist of anything that can, like, make me cry.
500 Days of Summer.
So, like, The Notebook?
No, it's got to make me cry for a specific reason.
Twilight.
Usually it's, like... Because I get emotional whenever I see things that are like what I feel like beautiful interpretations of something. Mm-hmm. And you hate Endgame, but
yeah, I mean I don't hate it. It was just like a 5 out of 10.
Did you cry during Endgame?
Yeah.
Like when Tony Stark passed away, and she was like, "Oh,
maybe not. Maybe I don't remember if I did that, but I remember the very beginning I did. Whenever it's like Hawkeye is trying to find out what happened to his family,
right?
Like that, I was like, oh damn, that's gonna that hit hard. I got teary eyed during that, but then one part that
first 10 minutes of the movie,
yeah, don't.
I'm not judging. I'm just saying.
I'm judging hard. Okay,
that was quick. Okay,
but no, and other parts that had me emotional, like not for sad reasons. At the very end, whenever the gates open and it looks like they're gonna be beaten, like Captain's all tired and Tony's all tired and they're getting beat to shit by Thanos, and then you hear on your left, and then like the gates open, and everyone starts flooding through. I was just like,
see, I feel like.
Sorry, Dennis. There's the spoilers.
I feel like I wasn't as immersed. Maybe Dennis can like relate when you know how to make a lot of those effects and you know the post production and like the plotting and the sequence planning. Your mind's everywhere.
Yeah,
like you're trying to dissect it and you're trying to get immersed,
but you're having a hard time because you can see like.
You're like, oh, they did that,
you're
but
too
they familiar
with it.
Yeah, so I think he might relate, so he might know.
No, yeah, I'm the same way. Anytime that I see medical things in media, some people are like, oh my God. Like, especially when it's like a scene where it's like someone's dying and they're doing something to try and save their life medically. I'm looking at that, I'm like, they're doing that wrong.
Exactly. And that's hard to suppress whenever it's like, it was a beautiful movie, beautiful graphics, but when it comes to like the plot or like the delivery, kind of, it sounds more nerdy when I say it that way, but you know what I'm saying, like.
And it's I don't know. All I can say is, bro, nothing hits harder than watching Mufasa die, and Simba's like trying to wake him up because Simba doesn't know the concept of death.
Yeah.
So desperately trying to wake his father up. I'm like, as a kid, I'm like, ha ha ha. As a fucking adult, you're just like. Oh,
like
fuck,
shit, dude. I felt
like,
it.
because obviously none of us have kids yet, but seeing that movie as an adult, you can't help but feel, like, imagine if you were a parent and something happens maybe in front of your kid, they won't understand what's going on, and just the thought alone kind of tugs at something inside of you, at least if you have a fucking soul, to be like, you never want to leave them confused that way because they're your kids, your legacy. And so I mean, that was something that definitely I was like, voy a llorar. Did you cry?
I did not.
No. What can you?
Bro, I rarely cry on movies.
Okay, rarely, but not.
Yeah, rarely.
Never.
But I think one of the movies that I teared up with was Big Hero 6, because Baymax. He's like, he's artificial intelligence. He gave him the fucking little disc to reprogram another. But I was emotionally and mentally hooked on his presence. That was my stomach.
Wasn't it his brother's design?
Yeah. So like he was gonna survive because his AI, his program is in the disc. Mm-hmm. But I drew a tear, and that's why it makes it very memorable. Whereas Endgame, I kind of knew it, but they hinted 3 movies back, this is gonna happen, and it kind of every movie led to the same thing, right. So it wasn't a shock factor anymore.
So it prepared you, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it prepared me. So I was like, okay, that's gonna happen, cool, but like, why is it being stretched? Whereas it'd be if they deliver the punch right away and super fucking and then it kind of simmers down instead of like simmer down and then try to prolong it a little bit more and like stretch the punch. I felt like they were stretching the punch, so it didn't really hit me in the nuts. Like it was more like maybe, but we're not. It felt like a project that the deadline was coming here. Then they started running out of money, like a Game of Thrones thing, and then they applied a little bit more emotional here because they're like, oh, after evaluation, more emotional. So I was looking at it in different spectrums.
It seems like you were looking at it almost like a graph.
Yeah, and that's my fault. Maybe because I was drinking. And I was like, cool, but and when I see movies that completely take me out of that mentality, then I'm like, that's a fucking good movie, because it put my whole like analytical graphic design whatever bullshit that I've been talking about off to the side. Big Hero 6.
Dennis cried during one of the Pokemon episodes.
When Ash left his Pikachu in Viridian Forest.
Dude.
Oh my god.
The Charmander, dude. The Charmander episode.
Where it was gonna die.
Dude, I was crying on that one.
Wow,
man. Let's not talk about sad shit. I'm about to cry right now, dude. Holy cow.
Saki said when Pikachu cried over Ash being turned to stone by Mew and Mewtwo fighting.
Oh yeah, dude, that's sad too.
I didn't, not so. It's funny though, because when I first saw that, I was like, oh, okay, Ash is dead. And then seeing the Pikachu, cry over it, it only dawned on me after the other Pokemon started crying, like the original and the clones. I was like, oh, they're all sad. So then, I was like, I don't like them being sad.
Or like when clone Pikachu was like punching regular
punch-
Pikachu, and then he wouldn't fight back, and he was telling him to fight back, and he wouldn't.
He's like, fight me, you bitch. Yeah. And it's like, no, I don't want to hurt you. Yeah, I
dude.
It was amazing, but again, I don't know, bro. I also like that movie because the little dragon that had the little envelope.
Yeah.
Handed out the invitations.
Well, I don't remember that.
He was
that
cute
movie.
as shit.
The Dragonite?
Yeah, in the beginning,
Yeah.
he was like, gave invitations to people.
Yeah.
I was like, he's cute.
The Butterfree episode. I remember that. Okay. Dude. Pokemon's sad as fuck. I just realized that. Holy shit.
What that quote that Mewtwo said after
I am your father.
No, after
It's the right
reviving Ash and like having all the clone Pokemon like basically die. I don't know what happened.
Somebody look it up.
But he did say that it's not it is not the circumstances of one's life that make you who you are. It's what you choose to be that makes you who you are. So it's because he was made.
Yeah.
So he was like, oh, I figured I'm made. I should be an asshole because humans made me this way.
Look what made me.
Yeah.
Dude, Joker. That reminded me of Joker, what you just said right now.
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh,
You haven't seen the Joker movie?
That's also a relatively new movie, though.
Oh,
bro,
wow.
this guy said relatively new.
Relatively-
Last year, bro.
I haven't gone to the movies in a while.
A year ago, bro. No,
You
like
get
a
what
month.
you fucking
It was
deserve.
like 2 months ago.
Dude, I'm gonna cry. This guy hasn't seen it.
Mewtwo woke. Yes, true. Mewtwo woke as F.
But
It's not the circumstances of one's birth.
no, you fucked it.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not
no, no.
immersed anymore with the.
It's what one chooses to do with their life.
Damn, that's deep.
Yeah, fuck that 3D version, bro. Traditional art over 3D.
Definitely,
all the time.
100%,
All the
100,000.
time.
I can't even watch anime because nowadays in Netflix is like 3D anime.
Yeah,
It's not the same, bro.
yeah.
I need to see the frames very well detailed and drawn
Yeah.
out. The passion and the passion fruit with the T you just trying to do. I can't.
So was Dennis in here when we talked about the fact that I kind of convinced you to get Pokemon Sword and a Switch? Because he's dropping all this Pokemon knowledge, and I'm just saying, yo,
He has to play with us.
link up, Gigantamax. Let's go.
Gigantic. Hey, you gifted me a Gigantic.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one who hasn't seen the Joker movie. Loops and Magic Sack. You haven't seen it?
It was good.
No, yeah. Now
we're about to put it on right now.
now the shit talking stops.
Like, okay.
Oh man.
He doesn't have the new Pokemons, by the way.
Oh. Magic Saki is my girl, my lovely girl. She has all the fucking Pokemon.
Yeah.
And
Damn.
she has like all of them. And she actually wanted to gift you one, but I told her no.
Bro, I need more, dude. I'm barely level 50.
She's mentioning in chat right now she's got a Kyurem for you.
Yeah.
What is the Kyurem?
Don't worry about it.
I mean,
bro.
okay.
You don't need it.
Don't let it entice you.
Yeah.
Don't be fooled.
Is it like a magic card?
It's
I
like a-
leveled up a magic
it's-
card into
it's
the
like-
fucking.
It's like an ice chicken.
It's a legendary. Oh, I remember what a Kyurem is now.
It's like it's like an ice chicken.
You
it
had
looks,
me at
it
legendary.
looks dumb, bro.
But is it
You
strong?
don't want it. No.
But is it strong?
No, bro.
It's not strong?
It's a piece of shit.
I'll teach it bite.
No, teach it
with me.
splash.
I'll teach it.
Struggle. It only knows struggle.
I'll teach it surf.
There you go. That's
a good one.
That's a tough one, yeah.
That's a good one right there.
But yes,
Hydroblast.
What
Bro,
is?
I got all this.
What else did you get? Because I would love to play Mario Kart
I got-
with like us, dude.
I
You know,
have
how,
Mario
stream.
Kart.
you know how pissed I would get if someone hits me with one of them blue shells.
Bro, I'll stomp you on Mario Kart, bro. Been playing it's in Mario 64. You want to play right now? I have it right now. Fuck it. We'll
said
play
you're-
while he's like talking.
You said you're off tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to do a game stream earlier tomorrow?
We could do
we
a game.
definitely could. We could get that all set up. But I will say this: we are planning on watching on the same subject of movies, the Sonic movie.
Yeah, tomorrow morning.
Sonic. So we're gonna check that out. I hear that it's really good.
Yeah, surprisingly.
And I'm starting to like the fact that video games are being adapted into movies.
Yeah. I
They've
like that a
done
lot.
this before, but they've failed several times.
Doom.
Doom was one that wasn't true to its story
It
to
wasn't good?
the game at all.
There's like no lore other than they come from hell.
Yeah, and well, no, it's not even that. They're not even from hell. They're just mutations from Mars. That was it.
Is that all? No, it was a virus. That's all it was.
Yes, it was an extra pair of chromosomes that reacts to a person's psyche.
They did do a remake of Doom where they say it is a portal for hell.
yeah, but fuck that one.
That was a less budgeted one
Yeah,
too.
that
It was
that
closer
was-
to the original lore, but it still was.
Yeah, that
pretty
was
crappy.
no. But anyways, no. The first time I started really feeling confident with video game movies was Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds was the Pikachu. Deadpool. The guy who
Ah,
plays Deadpool.
okay.
He doesn't know actors.
I don't know
names.
anything, bro. I don't even watch TV.
Do you know who Eugenio Derbez is?
Yeah, that guy.
You gotta say it.
El rey de peluche.
Familia Peluche.
Yeah. ¿Por qué no eres? Okay.
Porque no es un niño nomás.
I mean, I know that, but you guys know like so many like names. They're like, they sound
It's
like
because they're
bougie.
English.
Yeah, they sound bougie.
But,
No,
Tell me Chavo del Ocho. I know who that is, bro. What you mean? I don't know the actor.
Chapulín Colorado.
Chapulín Colorado, bro. I know that.
But yeah, Detective Pikachu was a really good one because they were sticking true to the lore. Like they're creating a world that we know is not possible.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist, but because we know that, they're catering to that.
So wait, you liked it or you didn't?
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the reason where he talked, right?
Right.
He
yeah.
was funny. Oh, okay,
Yes.
now I remember.
So
Okay.
the same, they're using the same formula with the Sonic movie. Oh, what was it, like months, maybe almost a year, when they dropped the Sonic trailer, and we all saw what Sonic looked like.
Disgust.
We were like, "What the fuck is
I
this?"
thought it was being memed or trolled.
I didn't think it was real, but it was legitimately their design. It no one liked it. Obviously, the internet just did what the internet did and just
See, my question is though,
rammed it.
what if that was a marketing strategy?
Well,
Be like Cybertruck. It's so ugly that you kind of like it now because you get it used to the.
The thing is, they didn't keep it ugly.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like, you know how the new trend is YouTube, like the year flashback, whatever YouTube.
the
YouTube
rewind.
YouTube rewind, like it's the most disliked video, but it's also like the most watched video. So that's like the trend. So if I was a marketing agent, be like, well, let's make a shitty one, fix it. Now we have everybody's attention, which is gold. Boom.
Yeah, that would be a good strat. I mean, it would have been a great
Risky,
play
but-
too if they did do that.
Yeah.
Then that would have been genius. But at the same time, I kind of want to believe that they did it intended for being that way.
Bro, I don't know, man. Like, maybe I don't know, man. It's like a 50-50.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it paid off because when they showed the new Sonic design, everyone loved it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, what if that was the strategy?
The
And
plan.
again, I'm being the devil's advocate. But if my movie or my project needed some pizzazz or some spunk from the viewers, and I'm like, I don't like your shitty internship design. Let's put it anyways. We're gonna switch it anyway. And don't get me wrong, switching the design takes a lot of work, keyframing and fucking recapturing all that.
Right.
But Elon Musk's like Cybertruck design,
Right.
that's part of the
Yeah.
conversation. It's like
But he could also
it's
do
so
that.
bad, it's good, and it's so bad that they did that terrible design because everybody was enraged, and then Twitter took over. It was just like a big old like controversy. Oh my god, I can't believe they did that to my fucking. And then they changed it, and now it's a really good movie. I could watch the trailer over and over again because it's so good.
Right. Yeah.
He looks like my childhood. Initially, it was like, oh, what the fuck am I watching? Am I being
Right,
trolled?
yeah.
Punked? Halo?
Meanwhile, with like the Cybertruck, it's like, what is this ugly design? I never get something like that. And it's like one of those songs where you're like, this is an annoying song. I hate this. And like, it's pretty good actually.
You know all the lyrics to it. And you're like, why do I do this to myself? But yeah, so yeah, the way corporations are starting to deal with properties such as video games, even though they may not really know what it's about, they have to stay true to why the fans like it so much, why it garners the attention that a studio wants to make a movie out of it. because if it bombs, they're gonna be like, oh, you're gonna lose money when someone's like, it's not what it what it was supposed to be.
Mm.
And yeah, I saw somebody mention that like Monster Hunter is getting a movie done.
Interesting.
I'm just like, whoa.
That'd be pretty cool. The effects on that, the cinematic effects.
It'd be cool if it's done right.
Right, exactly. That's why I'm like, with Detective Pikachu and Sonic, they were pretty linear. Like you're like, okay, yeah, sure, but like with Monster Hunter, how? Whoa! Imagine seeing a Rathalos on screen, and you're just like,
I'm just imagining what's the sword tail T-Rex with the fire breath, Gladiolus?
Oh, Glavenus.
Glavenus.
Yes.
I'm imagining just like like all the flames and everything. It's
like please make it rated R. I would love to see
someone just get gutted by it.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Going a little bit, backtracking a little bit. I saw in the chat, Charlotte mentioned. Did you guys know that they're having a sequel to Spider-Verse that they confirmed?
Yes. Into the Spider-Verse
is getting a sequel.
Sequel, yeah.
Confirmed.
Oh, nice.
So we'll see some more Post Malone.
I did like how Into the Spider-Verse was centered around
Miles.
Yeah, because he's an Afro-American
youth.
Yeah, and he his dad's of color, his mom's of color. I'm like, this is cool because we speak Spanish, we're minorities.
Yeah.
Seeing that, and then in the second one, it's supposed to follow another Spanish guy, which is Spider-Man 2099.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be interesting to watch. Hey, bro, that's why we got the flag right here. Represent.
It's racist. I was just like,
yeah.
Oh, that was my stomach, bro. Oh, then it said Legend of Zelda has a Netflix series planned. What the fuck?
But like, what Legend of Zelda though?
Yeah, there's
Probably
like
the 64.
Link's Awakening, Link to the Past.
Is that Legend of
Breath of the
Ocarina
Wild?
of Time, Breath of the Wild.
I think Breath of the Wild made the most like transmutable
That
Oh,
one.
shit was good.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, just because
Yeah,
it's
makes sense.
it's more like open and like they can film that in like Greenland and it would look great.
Oh yeah,
Mm,
yeah,
I
it
could see
would.
that. Damn.
And they really wouldn't have to spend too much on like
Prop design or anything like
yeah,
that.
because fucking Breath of the Wild is pretty barren.
Yeah, it'd just be like a couple of areas with shacks and some dungeon crawling.
Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy.
So that'd be interesting. But again, just to wrap it up, I love the fact that studios are starting to take video games as a serious thing. To be like, oh yeah, we can make a movie out of it, because essentially that's what video games are.
Yeah.
They're films, interactive films that you
Exactly.
control. So one thing I always wanted to see as a movie, well, two things. I want to see BioShock as a film, and Dead Space.
That would be a good one, yeah.
That would be
They made an animated film for Dead Space.
They
But a
did.
live action one, well, that'll be like what's that one movie? Event Horizon.
Yes,
It'll be very similar to that.
Well, Dead Space was based off of.
Yeah,
the
it was,
Event Horizon.
yeah.
So that
I don't think I've seen it.
it's a space movie about it's kind of like Doomish, where they open a portal to hell.
Well, no,
For the same reason, was a teleporter.
it was Event Horizon. Just a quick summary is this guy developed a ship called the Event Horizon. This ship has a core that's basically a black hole. So once it gets
Holy
activated, it sends the ship from one point to another, like obviously like a black hole would.
String theory.
The problem is though, when they
Bolting.
did it, the ship disappeared. They don't know where it went until like years later it popped up again, and they were wondering where it went. Well, it turns out it went through a dimension that they call it a chaos dimension, but because the guy was like,
Is that an anime show or no?
No, it's
a
an
live
actual
action.
movie. Yeah.
The guy was like, "Are you telling me the ship went through hell?" And then he's like, "Hell is just a term. The reality is much worse."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, okay." So the ship brought back something with it. So it's very interesting,
Sounds
and that's where the
cool.
idea for Dead Space came in.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's like an older movie.
Yeah,
Late 90s.
yeah, something like
Shit.
that. It's got the Morpheus from The Matrix in it,
Oh,
and the guy from Jurassic Park.
Damn, that's gonna be a real
Yeah.
good movie.
So you should definitely check it out. I think it's on Netflix still.
It is. I
Yeah.
saw it on Netflix again recently.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, just because like, oh, Event Horizon, it's been a while.
Yeah. So check it out. Definitely.
Have you guys heard, really quick before we wrap it up,
Mm-hmm.
Dennis asks, have you guys heard about quantum computer advancements? Yes.
I
Definitely.
haven't.
Julio's got a major boner for quantum.
Yeah.
But anything
Computer
involving
advancements.
quantum freaks me out a bit because I'm like,
It's the
you know,
qubit, bro.
I
Four
do-
dimensions out.
I do love.
It ain't binary, it's qubit. There we go.
I do love quantum theory because I love the idea that there are parallel universes or dimensions living or that they're existing simultaneously within our own reality. I like the idea of that. I don't know what the fuck quantum computer advancement is, but I'm assuming.
Okay, to make it brief and inaccurate, because I haven't done any research, I just seen like videos about
I
it.
just love your disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
That inaccurate.
It's like, think of a computer, except in 1 second, it'll calculate not only, let's say, 10,000 or 10 million results, but they'll calculate it in different dimensions, taking physics into account. Something like that. To get over shit. So it's like very powerful, the actual chip is tiny. They need a whole room being refrigerated to keep it from like heating up.
Right.
So it's like a little tiny chip, big old thing like holding it together, then a room refrigerated just to keep it from burning out. It operates in qubits instead of binary, 1 and 0. It's 1 and 0 essentially, but flip-flopping back and forth into 4 dimensions. It's weird. I don't know.
It
I don't know what
sounds
the fuck I'm saying.
interesting, but here's a topic that I feel like we should talk about later in another recording, because I like the idea of that. So that's gonna stay fresh in my mind because I definitely want to talk about it next time.
I'll write it down.
But
And they've teleported
that one,
electrons and shit.
from what I read, there's this facility somewhere in Germany where there's like a facility far underground where they're basically mashing atoms together trying
Yeah,
to,
the accelerator.
yeah the
Photon accelerator.
yeah
Quantum accelerator or something.
yeah quantum accelerator,
Man,
which I'm like
The
wondering because I read that they're
collider?
trying to
yeah.
a collider,
Yeah,
yeah.
the Higgs boson collider.
Higgs boson, yeah.
Something like that.
Higgs
And
boson. I can't even pronounce it.
Which
Higgs
I'm just
boson
trying to
accelerator.
figure out, like, what are you guys trying to open?
Dude,
They're trying to create miniature black holes.
Yeah, essentially, but I'm like, wow, that's damn.
Essentially, I forgot what it is that they're trying to create, but basically, if you slam two atoms together at such a velocity at just the right angle, you can essentially generate enormous amounts of energy
Right.
very rapidly. But at the same time, it is a potentially generated black hole.
yeah.
Yeah.
And not just black hole, they're also trying to study dark matter, dark energy, something new that came up. And they just recently discovered that gravity is actually a wave. So it's just a bunch of fucking like different scientific shit happening.
So we'll take that.
Yeah.
Obviously, that is a
Yo,
discussion.
Yeah, well,
that's a
much
discussion.
fun, dude.
Writing down these notes for next. The next
Yeah.
next podcast is going to be a very science
Yes.
centralized
Bro,
one.
I can have people come over. If
that'd
you
be
guys need a
amazing.
PhD saying he's not afraid of the ghetto, I'll bring him down. Bro.
Not afraid
Oh,
of the ghetto.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
There we go. Yeah.
The
But,
bootleg version. But like, okay.
But definitely that is a discussion. I would like to talk about, the reality of science with like.
Wait, real quick. Are we ending the podcast to start the second episode or something like that? Because we've been running over the hour. I don't know.
Yeah, we have been running past what was supposed to be our limit for one recording. I mean, it doesn't mean we're going to be stopping our podcast just yet, but
Does anybody want to do the outro? Not it, because my shit squeak as fuck.
so like, do you want to do
Paper, rock, scissors. Yeah?
No,
I'll join.
Real quick though, are we ending it now and then talking about science, or are we going to wait till a different day to do science?
I think different day.
Yeah, I
Different
think
day,
we
so we can
definitely-
get some
yeah.
so we get some research under and
Yeah.
actually
Right,
talk about it
exactly.
more in
Yeah.
depth.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Oh, it's
Then
Good
then
fun.
we'll end the podcast and then we'll do a little bit of what we were doing last time, which was a just after the cast, more casual, just talk to the audience kind of deal.
right, yeah, but yeah. On that note, I really want to talk about the science of, just humanity tampering with things that we really don't know about, and we might have some idea of what could happen, and also how we are so interested in what's up there that we haven't explored what's down here, just like our oceans. So that's that's something very, yeah.
And on that note, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to... Are you going to put it on the central camera or not?
Damn, bro.
I was looking at you and just just staring at me.
I'm just like trying to figure
and
out.
on that note, thank you everyone for tuning in.
You know what?
To the
Take that. Take that.
Thank you everyone for tuning in to our live podcast. For anyone who's watching this on YouTube, you'll see our next podcast within the next couple of weeks or so. This is Misclick Media. Thank you for watching. Please leave any comments in the future in the description down. I'm all kinds of all the place. Leave a comment in the comment section below for more stuff that you want to see. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.
All right.